Hello survivors and welcome to another video. So a new event is going to be starting up on the 18th of December and it's called the Winter Assault event. There are some pretty nice rewards surrounding this, so we're just going to look at it on face value from the post on the forums. And as it says, happy holidays survivors, we're excited to announce that next week we'll be launching the first ever Winter Assault event. Unlike any other event we've had in the past, the Winter Assault event is centered around Faction Assault, and obviously I think the only other time they ever had an event around Faction Assault was when it was first released. I think it was slightly cheaper, but there was nothing attached to that. It was just Faction Assault was cheaper to run, pretty much. And it says, starting Tuesday, December the 18th, 4 PM Pacific time, the Winter Assault event will begin. Players will earn holiday-themed collectibles from playing Faction Assault that they can redeem in the museum for powerful rewards. We're making some big changes into the Faction Assault ticket system and tier cooldown timers to allow factions and players to play Faction Assault even more throughout the event. So these are going to be the main changes, as you can see right here, and it is going to be daily tickets is going to be gifted to you every day. All players will be gifted 500 free Faction Assault tickets, so obviously that means 15,000 free assault tickets for your faction every day. Increased ticket generation. Faction Assault tickets generated from standard sources will be increased by 3 times, and then it says cooldown timers will be turned off. That means you can pretty much repeat tier 6 Faction Assault over and over again. Cooldown timers for all tiers of Faction Assault will be disabled for the duration of the event. Yes, this means you can immediately start Faction Assault again once your faction finishes a run of any tier. And then as we scroll down, there's going to be a look into the rewards, and it says, we're really excited to give players greater access to Faction Assault during this holiday event, which ends Sunday, January the 6th. Now the rewards are, players will earn collectibles from playing Faction Assault that they will redeem in the museum for rewards. The event collectibles will be earned via the rank rewards for each Faction Assault playthrough, and it's important to note the amount of collectibles earned in rank rewards will be the same across all player ranks, which is really good because there's already enough infighting pretty much. I've never seen Faction Assault in any faction that I've seen, like talking to people or experienced myself, where it's really been super smooth. It always generally gets salty to a certain extent, and that's just because it's not really well made in terms of, basically factions have to come up with their own rules to make it fair because it's just not fair, and that's really bad. It creates infighting, and I really hope that Faction Assault just gets fixed in that aspect anyway. And it says this means that all players in a faction will get the same amount of collectible rewards regardless of their rank for each Faction Assault attempt. Just make sure you get a hit in each attempt to ensure you receive your collectible reward. The amount of collectibles rewarded per attempt depends on the difficulty tier, with the higher tiers providing more collectibles. In the museum, event collections can be redeemed for winter tokens, so that's the limited time wheel that's up right now, where you need 120 tokens to get a guaranteed extendable pull. Legendary gear, finally we actually get some legendary gear, because we haven't had any legendary gear event for a long time, and I'd say it's desperately needed. The amount of league tokens it costs to get a GPS, a canteen, 6 of these legendary gear items, and then 4 of the epic gear items just costs so much. It's like nearly 100,000, and you maybe make that in a season, which is just every 8 weeks, which is terrible. And then obviously epic gear in there as well, which is just a slightly lower tier gear for the 6 stars, tier 4 and I think tier 2 and tier 3 as well. And then here it says, preparing for the Winter Assault event. From today on, leading up to the launch of the Winter event, we highly recommend that your faction does not start a Faction Assault attempt. The reason we recommend this is because if your faction already has a cooldown timer active for specific tier of Faction Assault, that cooldown timer will not reset when the Winter Assault event begins. You'll need to wait for the full cooldown to expire before attempting that tier again. For example, if your faction completes a tier 5 Faction Assault attempt on Sunday, December the 16th, you won't be able to attempt tier 5 again until the 5-day cooldown expires. Even though the Winter Assault event starts on Tuesday, December the 18th, and all cooldown timers will be removed from that day through to the duration event. So basically, just chill. Don't do any Faction Assault events right now. And if you did one, let's say yesterday, don't worry too much, because you're probably going to go through these Faction Assault tokens quickly, because the cooldown timer resets instantly. Your faction could potentially do Faction Assault every day if you're really organized and you're really strong, and I don't think we're going to accumulate enough tokens to do it every day. So I thought I'd bring this to your attention. We'll look into it once it is actually fully released in the game. This is really nice. Basically, we're going to have more chances of getting the stuff for Tara. We're going to have more chances to be getting, you know, the gear. We're going to be having a side reward system in these three things, which is obviously winter tokens, legendary gear, and epic gear. I will say, if you start getting the collectibles, I would say hold off and just try and work out what you need. If you desperately need gear, then obviously go for it, but you might want to wait until the end of the event, which is January the 6th, just to see if you can get an extra pull on winter tokens and then use the remaining tokens for gear. Basically, just, especially if you're not going to get a lot. If you're going to get tons, I guess you're just going to be fine with it, but you might want to be patient with spending your collectibles early on. So that's the end of this video, guys. Do tell me what you think about this. There is going to be a winter event for free to play. There obviously was the 12 days of spending event that popped up. It's just like kind of ridiculous. But it's great to see a free to play event, and it is great to see legendary and epic gear in the reward system and winter tokens as well. So I think there's a better guarantee that people are going to get a pull. So that, like I said, that's the end of this video, guys. Tell me what you think. And as always, keep on surviving, guys. Keep on surviving.